Hi everyone. Today's video is going to be short and sweet. We're going to do 3 examples, and this is really part 2 of a video from yesterday on volume of rectangular prisms. So this first example is just like what you did yesterday. So let's take a look at what it says. Find the volume of the rectangular prism below. And you can see we have all 3 dimensions listed here. Our length is right, well, let me get my highlighter. Our length is right here, 6 centimeters. I'll label that length, which of course we call L. And then we have our width right here at 10 centimeters. That is our width. And the final dimension, the 3rd dimension, height. 6 centimeters. And that's our height, H. So yesterday we learned why the volume of a rectangular prism is equal to length times width times height. And we can just plug our 3 numbers in. So volume equals length, 6, width, 10, and height, 6. And so we can put that in our calculator, or we can just do it in our head. 6 times 10 is going to be 60, and 60 times 6 is going to be 360. And then remember, centimeters to the 3rd power, or centimeters cubed, or cubic centimeters. That's going to be the final volume. And that's because when you take centimeters times centimeters times centimeters, you get centimeters to the 3rd power. Okay, so that's a quick review of what we did yesterday. Let's go on to the next example. And remember, I said there were 3, so this is 2 of 3. Here comes example 2. The volume of the rectangular prism shown below is 72 inches cubed, or 72 cubic inches. What is the missing measurement for C? So if we zoom in here a little bit, can you see here? Let me bring this down just this little bit here. We've got 3 dimensions marked, but the C is missing. This is what we're going to find. So if we call that length, let's call that length, or L, then our width here would be 4, call that the W. And the height, H, would be the 3 here. So this is a little bit backwards because in this problem, they give us the volume. So they tell us the volume is 72 inches cubed. So let's see if we can write the formula down. Let's start with our formula. Volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. And we know the volume, so where volume is, let's plug in 72. Okay, we don't know the length. In fact, this problem is calling that C. So let's call the length C times width we have, it's 4 inches, times height we have, it's 3 inches. So we're plugging something in for each variable. And now using algebra, we can solve for C. So let's do the math that we can. Let's bring the 72 down. Let's bring the C down. But now we can combine 4 times 3 into 12. And then solving by algebraic processes, we know that the opposite operation of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 12. These 12s are going to divide and conquer. 12 divided by 12 is 1. So C is going to equal 72 divided by 12, which is 6. And the units, let's see, everything here is measured in inches. So the length would be 6 inches. So let's say C is equal to 6 inches. Final answer. So that's just a volume problem going backwards. That's if they give you volume and want one of the dimensions. Great. And the 3rd and final problem for this video. I thought this one was interesting. We give it a go. Let's read it first. The rectangular prism below has a volume of 36 centimeters cubed. So again, it's sort of that backwards feeling. But this time they tell us that the area of the base is 12 centimeters squared. What is the height? So I really want to focus on this sentence right here for a second. The area, like they're not giving me the length, width, height. They're telling me that the area of the base is 12. So let's look at the base. Let me outline the base in a different color. So I would say the base is right here, base meaning the bottom of the figure. So this is your base, and that base is a rectangle, right? This is a rectangle. And when talking about the area of the base, well, the area of a rectangle is length times width. So I would argue that the length times the width is equal to 12. Are we okay there? So the area of this base, length times width, it's already done for me, 12. So, well, what are we going to do with this now? We're talking up here about volume. Well, if we go ahead and write the volume of a rectangular prism, which is length times width times height, notice we're looking for what is the height. So this is what we are after. We want to find this variable. So that h is going to stay in h. We know that the volume is 36. So where the volume is, we can put 36 equals. But now look here, length times width. Well, we know that length times width together makes 12. So this can be replaced with 12h. And now we can solve this algebraically by dividing both sides by 12. These will cancel to 1, and the height of our prism, 36 divided by 12, is 3. And I'll say, since this is centimeters, I'll say the height is 3 centimeters. Ta-da! So that one was a little bit different because instead of giving me the length and the width and wanting me to find the height, now they gave me the length times the width as a calculation, and I could just use that throughout the problem. Okay, great. Good luck today, and thanks for watching.